Let's get the chat popped out here. Chat is popped out. And we are ready to go, I think, except that I might have a little speck in my glasses. Might be able to get away with it. No, that's actually on the headset. Now we gotta reset everything again, but oh my goodness, it's clear. It's so clear, so fresh and so clean. We'll leave it there. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man Lincoln Clay, and we are back with another live stream, and we are doing the ever popular Assetto Corsa Competizione again, doing an open lobby, maybe single player, but more than anything, I just want to take a few minutes to do a lap around the track or two and give you my thoughts on the 3080 after some extensive time with it and testing it on a number of games. It's not hard to figure out what I think of this card so far. If you've been following my last couple of streams, I've been absolutely ecstatic with this card. And I did pay a pretty penny for it. So giving my thoughts on whether I would recommend this card or not is relative to the manufacturer's suggested retail price versus what you might pay a scalper, versus what kind of computer you're planning to put it in, or what kind of computer you're planning to build. Let's see what do we got. Let's see what we got for multiplayer. So I would say that I've watched a lot of benchmark videos for the 3080 Ti, and for the most part, I originally started out with a 2070, and when I was ready to make the move and upgrade, I was looking to get a 3080. So what I was doing was looking at benchmark videos starting from the 2070. So the benchmark videos that I was seeing, they were comparing the 2070, 2080, 2080 Ti, 3070, 3080, you know, maybe not all of those particular cards scrunched up in that video, but in most cases it would be the 2070 versus the 2080 Ti versus the 3070, and then from there I would watch videos the 2080 Ti versus the 3070 versus the 3080. So it was incremental that I was working my way up the ladder, so I could make a determination of how big of a jump I would be going from the 2070 to the 3080. And the 3080 was going to be quite a big jump. I think that was the card that was going to be my sweet spot. I think that was going to be the card that I was going to settle on, and that was going to be it. No more upgrades. Whatever it turns out to be, that's what I'm riding with. But at the same time, as the 19 surprise started ravaging everything and jamming up supply chains and causing material shortages and that kind of stuff, prices like were going through the roof on eBay, and then from retailers, they were super hard to get because scalpers and crypto miners were buying up all the cards. So I was having to ask myself, if you can't get a 3080, would you settle for a 3070? And it was a tough thought process. And then when I started looking at how big of a jump the 3070 was from the 2070, I said, okay, if it comes down to it, I have no choice, I'll take it. but the 3070, I was not going to take it. I mean, not the 3070, the 3060, I was not going to take it. Because from the videos that I've seen, how much did you pay for that 3080 Ti? Draco Top Shot, how you doing? I bought it off of eBay. Yes, I did give in to the scalpers. I paid $1,400 for it, but the card retails for $1,200. So I paid $200 over retail cost to a scalper, and then, you know, there was shipping and taxes, and so it ended up being about $1,500 out the door. We had the situation where Best Buy was trying to neutralize the scalpers by having special events where you could line up at the door to get a graphics card. I went there. You guys heard me tell the story. Damn, $1,400. Well, the card retails for $1,200. So even without the scalpers, the card was still expensive at $1,200 because the 3080 retails for $700. The Nvidia one. So when I talk about manufactured retail price, I'm talking about the Nvidia card and not MSI or whoever else, these third-party companies. I'm sticking with Nvidia. So the 3080 retails for $700 and the 3080 Ti retails for $1,200. That's quite a big jump in price. We're talking about a $500 jump. So anyway, I fought through that long ass line at Best Buy to try to get my hands on a 3080. By the time I got in line, the ticket allotment had been distributed, and I didn't get a ticket, but I stuck around, waited in the hopes that someone would not be able to pick up a card and I would be able to get one. And you guys heard that story. That's what happened. Long story short, the 3070 was the only card available. I picked it up, and I think it was getting the job done. And then when I upgraded to, when I put a 3090, when I put an i9 9900K in my Alienware, I definitely saw a jump in performance, but I think I bought a bad i9 off of eBay. And then when I ran an update through the PC that I thought was a BIOS update, it killed the motherboard. So fast forward to where we are right now. I built a new computer. I still roll with the 3070 because I just couldn't get my hands on a card at the time, and I was refusing to give in to the scalpers. And then just out of nowhere, it hit me, especially after I got my taxes back. That influenced the decision too. I get my taxes back. I decide it's time to go ahead and upgrade. I get the 3080 Ti. Long story short, paid $14 for it, as you guys heard me say a number of times. And then and I've been putting this card through its paces the past couple of days because it wasn't so much that I had an issue with paying the $1,400 for the card, because I would have, if Best Buy would have charged $1,400 for the card, I would have paid it. What I was apprehensive about was buying a card off of eBay, because I don't know if this is a card that had been, you know, beat up by a crypto miner in China, and then they sold it because, you know, crypto mining has been banned in China. So they started dumping all their GPUs, and God knows how many hours those GPUs have been running. So that was my worry, is that I might be buying a card that was used up by a crypto miner. The seller said that the card was less than 2 months old. He said that it had not been padded or tampered with, so the 3 years manufacturer's warranty had been intact. So basically the last couple of days, what I have been doing is spending the last couple of days pushing this card to its max, because if it's going to die on me, I want to know this weekend instead of 3 months from now, because basically what's going on with that is the seller, I have not given him any feedback yet, because I told him that I'm going to spend the next couple of days basically trying to punish this card to see if it can stand up to it. Because that's what happened with the i9 that I bought. I bought the CPU, gave the guy good feedback. Over the next couple of days, the computer was crashing and I was getting the blue screen when it crashes. It was suggested to me it might be a BIOS issue. I put an update, kills the PC. So I'm not 100% certain whether I bought a corrupt i9 or whether that shit was just too much for the Alienware. I don't know. But this computer here has an i9 12900K in it. So that the CPU being a bottleneck wasn't going to be an issue. So I could feel like I could confidently push this GPU to the edge and see what happens. So that's where I'm at with the card right now. Is I'm still putting it through its paces before I give this guy positive feedback, because I don't want to give him positive feedback and then the card dies on me 2 days later. So with that, cutting straight to the chase, the majority of my games, just by default, most of my games have been set to ultra settings. The game realizes what my specs are and it sets the graphics accordingly, and in most cases it's been set to ultra settings. There has been a couple of instances where the games were set to high by default instead of ultra, and I turned the settings up to ultra to see what would happen. In a couple of cases, the game still ran good. In a couple of cases, the game was there was some judder, but it was tolerable. So, all that being said, what's a good game that one of the games that I tested, everything was set on ultra except for one setting. It was set on high. I think it might have been Shadows, and I turned it up to ultra, and that was enough to give me a couple of frame drops. When I turned it back down, the Shadows back down to high, everything ran smooth again. So all the games that I've tested, if I ran with the recommended settings, everything ran beautifully. In most cases, again, the games, there was a few games that recommended high settings and I went to ultra and it still ran good, and so forth. So all that being said, when I recommend this card, under certain conditions, yes, I would recommend this card. This is based on manufactured. Well, I guess you could throw the eBay variable in there too. I think the 3080 Ti is the best GPU you can get if you don't want to spend the extra money for a 3090. Now, from the benchmark videos that I've seen, some games, the 3090 only got like 2 or 3 frames more than the 3080 Ti. Some games, the 3090 got about 8 frames more than the 3080 Ti. But it retails for $300 more. It retails for $1,500. So based on suggested retail price, I think the 3080 Ti is the best card you'll get if you don't want to spend the extra $300 for a 3090. The 3090 Ti just launched, and I think that card is retailing for $1,900, and I'm seeing it go on eBay for $3,000. Now, when you throw the eBay aspect into the pricing, I'm seeing the 3080 Ti on eBay seems to be going for about $1,600 but I'm seeing the 3090 on eBay go for $2,500 on up. That being said, That's a far jump. I think that being said, if you're going to pay eBay prices, I think the 3080 Ti might be the best card you're going to get for under $2,000. Also, I think your CPU is going to make a huge difference. I think my friend Ham would be a better guy to talk to about this. But given my own opinions, if you're going to get a 3080 Ti, I suggest you go straight to the top and get an i9 12900K or even the i9 12900KS that's about to come out or just came out. I don't think it's out yet, but I think it's coming out, I'm guessing, any day now, because I've made a couple of posts about reviews on that CPU. So I think that if you buy a 3080 Ti and you're still working with like a i9 9900K, I don't think you're going to get the most out of that card. I think if you want to get the most out of the 3080 Ti, I think you're going to have to go with the i9 12900K. Now, benchmark videos that I've seen of the 3080 Ti, the uploaders of those videos were using an i9 10900K or an i9 1100K. My friend Ham believes that the i9 1100K is garbage. So if you're going to get a CPU based on his recommendations, I suggest you skip right over the i9 11900K and go straight to the 12900K. I would also recommend this card if you're prepared to spend the money for it. So again, the 3080 Ti, the Nvidia 3080 Ti retails for $1,200. The i9 12900K that I have retails for $620. So you're looking at $1,900 after taxes and all that shit gets done with you. That's retail, not eBay. After taxes get done with you, you're looking at about $1,900. Being that you're probably going to have a hard time finding a 3080 Ti retail, I would expect to pay, if you're going to go the eBay route like I did, expect to pay around $1,500 or more. So with me being a streamer, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it, and with me racing in VR, and then I'm playing a game that's very demanding, I thought it was necessary for me to upgrade. So I was prepared to spend the money, and I was not disappointed. I think it was worth what I paid for it, because I continue to be amazed by what I'm seeing. The server is full. Let's refresh this list. Oh, there's a Kyalami. Oh, let's go there. The Kyalami is definitely one of my favorite tracks on here. So all that being said, if you're shopping around for a CPU, and you're worried about pinching every single penny, the 3080 Ti is not for you. Like I said, I think I can recommend the 3080 Ti if you want the best possible card out there without paying the extra money for a 3080 for a 3090. In terms of eBay prices, yes, it's a far jump. You're looking at $1,500 for a 3080 Ti on eBay versus about $2,500 for a 3090 on eBay. Manufactured retail price. It's tough for me to say that because, again, the 3090 from the benchmark videos that I've seen, you're getting slightly more performance out of the 3090. So I guess if you don't mind spending the extra $300 for a 3090, so you can have what's going to be the second best graphics card out there after the 3090 Ti hits, have at it. Fatal, how's it going? But I think now that the 3090 Ti is going to be out there, I think the 3080 Ti is going to be the sweet spot that gives you the most performance without paying full price for a 3090 or 3090 Ti. So wait a minute. Okay, let's go. I continue to be amazed by how good this looks in VR, as well as how well it runs. Because I'm running this headset in 2736p. So as far as the Oculus headset goes, I've got this headset maxed out. Just a minute here, Fader. I'll check your comment here in a second. You said the 3090 and 3090 Ti aren't meant for gamers. The 3080 Ti is about the same performance as the 3090, give or take a few frames, which I've told people that. I've watched some benchmark videos and the 3090 gets about 2 or 3 frames more than the 3080 Ti on some games, and in other games, I've seen it get about 8 more frames. Dark, how's it going? Thanks a lot, appreciate it. Fatal, he said not only that, the 6900 XT beats both of them. I'm gonna have to watch some benchmark videos because I really don't keep up with the AMD cards that much because I don't know them. Like you could have told me, you could have mentioned 6900 XT and I wouldn't have been able to say, hey, that's the Intel equivalent, that's the Nvidia equivalent of the 3090, what have you. So I'm gonna have to take a look at some benchmark videos because now I want to see this. Because from some of the videos that I've seen and some of the articles that I've posted, they're saying that the 3090 is the best GPU on the market currently until the 3090 Ti hits. Ah, damn it, I'm sitting here looking at the... Here, let me pull over. Let me check the comments again. This race is about to start anyway. That's one hell of a setup you got, dude. Thanks, appreciate it. Between what I spent to build my computer, as well as the money that I've spent on sim racing hardware, I probably got about close to $7,000 into this stuff. My PC.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
I benchmarked every AMD card from the 6800 and below. Okay. My sim racing setup here, this what I'm sitting on right here is probably worth about, let me crunch the numbers real quick. 1200, 800, 2400, 2700. He said focus, yeah, easy. So my sim racing cockpit that I'm sitting in, I've spent about $3,700 on sim racing equipment, but what I'm sitting in right here is worth about $3,000. The wheelbase retails for $1,200. The cockpit that I'm sitting in retails for about $900. So we're up to $2,100. The wheel, as well as the quick release, is another $300. So we're up to $2,400. The V3 load cell pedals that I have are $370. I'm just gonna round it off to $400. So now I think we're up to $2,800. And then I've got bass shakers and an amp and that kind of shit. That pushes it to over $2,900. So yeah, between my PC, so my PC and this rig, we're looking at about, what is this, a 20-minute race? So I gotta go in here and change the fuel. So give me a second, folks. I'll finish crunching these numbers. We'll go with that. Okay, so my PC, I'm still rocking a G27 and a CV1. Nothing wrong with that. It's still a good headset. In fact, my son just, even though he's got a Quest and a Quest 2, he just bought an HTC Vive off of eBay because he wants the Vive trackers as well as the Knuckles controllers. And he's willing to settle for the slight blur of the HTC Vive, and it runs at 1200p. So coming back to me, again, this cockpit is worth about $3,000. What I'm sitting in right now, my computer's worth about $3,000. Now, the extra $1,000, where I said total $7,000, comes from me buying a CSL Elite on eBay to hold me over for a while, and buying the CSL pedals and the CSL Elite pedals, clamps.
Stay double file.
So it's probably more closer to oh shit. So the extra shit right there is probably more closer to $700 or $800. So, you know, if you're gonna hold me to the exact penny of what I paid for this, pay for all of this shit, you know, maybe $6,800. But if you round it off, yeah, closer to $7,000. And we haven't even talked about how much money I've spent on VR headsets and shit like that, because I bought a bunch of VR headsets, a couple of PlayStation VR headsets, about 3 Oculus Quest 2 headsets, 2 Oculus Rift headsets.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. on the left. Car on the left.
I didn't see. Damn, I got a penalty for that little bitty touch.
Clear on the left.
Oh shit. I'll come back and check the chassis when I can, but I gotta get past this dude.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
It's risky, but I think I'm gonna try to take him right here.
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
God damn!
Damage on the front. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
He had to know I was there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Slow car ahead.
Gotta get past him before he starts picking up speed, otherwise it's gonna be hard to get past him.
There's a slow car ahead.
Ah, shit. Almost paid for that one trying to carry the extra speed.
Car
And he's in the Valentino
Clear on the left.
Rossi. Skechers. Audi R8. And he's kind of all over the place, so I gotta decide where's a good moment to try to take him. I thought he was going to go wide, so that would have been a good place to try to take him.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Radio Run, what's good?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Tell you in a minute. As far as my graphical settings go, what I basically did was put it on VR Epic and tweaked it. Maybe turn the shadows down a notch, turn the couple other things, car rendering. I turned a few things down. As far as resolution goes, I got my Oculus Quest maxed out at 2736p. Boy, did I make a huge boo-boo. It nearly cost me. This race has got about 2 minutes to go, Radio Run. Then I'll check your comment and respond to it if you can hang on that long.
sector 3. Leaders on final lap.
Lost a little bit of time there. Lost a little bit of time there too. I lost a whole second off of what I was predicted to do a 145.3, and I was a whole second slower because of what I did on that last corner. Okay, I will try that. My frame rate sucks on my 3080 in this game so far. I finally set up the wheel after not using it for a few months. I think I want to get into racing games a little bit more. This is what I think you should do, Radio Runt. The big thing is the 3080 Ti, from what I'm seeing, I think gives you about 10 more frames on average than the 3080. So originally, when I tried this game after I put the 3080 Ti in, I kept my resolution on the headset because I'm on the Quest 2, as you can see. I kept my resolution at about I went as high as like 1856, and I was able to run this on VR Epic settings and was still getting I was getting good frame rates, I was getting good performance. But Ham said, hey, you can bump that resolution all the way up to 27. You can max it out. And I'm like, you believe this? You believe in my computer more than I do. So he sent me his setup as far as like resolution and all that kind of stuff. He sent that to me. I bumped the resolution all the way up to 2736. So I'm running at 2736. It's a clear picture. And then, you know what? Let me go through the options and see if I ended up having to turn down what we got here. So resolution scale is at 80%. View distance is mid, shadows is mid. So yeah, it changed some things. My mirror view distance is at 80 meters. The frame rate is auto. I could turn that down if I wanted to. Opponent's visibility, I can see 16 cars at once. I'm fine with that, because if you're in a race that's got 60 cars in it, how many cars are you going to see? So I'm fine with 16 cars being rendered at once. My pixel density is at 120%. I was running it at 145. So what I'm suggesting to you, Radio Rut, is if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and DM me, and I'll send you the same setup that Ham sent me. And what you do is you take that setup, you go into Documents, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Customs, Video Settings, and then you take those specs and drop them in that folder. And then when you come back into the game and you go into, let me do this again. And then you go into manage custom presets, video presets. You go in there and it should give you the options for the Quest 2. You select that. And that should give you the same specs that I'm working with. And you should be able to get good frame rates, and it should run pretty good, and you should get a clear picture. The big thing that stands out is when cars get into the distance, the contact shadow underneath the car disappears and then reappears when you get close. So some assets come in, they come into view when you get close, and then when cars get into the distance, shadows and stuff like that, contact shadows will disappear. So I never in a million years would have thought that I would be able to run this game, because we know how demanding this game is, be able to run it at 2736p. And when I had the 3070 and I was using the i9 9900K, this was before Ham, gave me his settings, when I was still tweaking and still trying to find things out for myself. Yeah, I was playing with a lot of stuff. So yeah. With that, I'm going to get ready to boogie on out of here, because I only got an hour or two left with my son before I got to get ready to take him home. So I'm going to hand the PC over to him so he can marvel at the games. He definitely gave the 3080 a seal of approval. Some of the games that he plays, he couldn't believe how clear they were. Extra sharp picture in VR. So, Radio Runt, a 3080, you definitely have a good card as far as I'm concerned, because that's what I was shooting for before I had to settle on the 3070. So, with that, everybody, that was a pretty good race. After that wreck that I caused, I dropped all the way down to 17th place, and I ended up finishing that race in 9th place. So not bad. After that wreck, I stopped taking stupid chances, stayed in my lane, and just tried to stay consistent. And ended up finishing up 9th. It was a lot of fun. With that, thanks for the info. No problem. With that, I do plan to do another stream this evening. I'm going to be gone for a few hours because my son lives damn near an hour away from me. I got to take him home, tie up a couple of more loose ends, but I am off tomorrow. I don't have to work tomorrow. I plan on doing a lot of streaming. Hell, I might even stream Assetto Corsa Competizione from the PS5, even though it's flat screen, because it's still a beautiful game on PS5. It runs that 60 frames per second is butter. So I might do that. If there's a new daily race, I could possibly do GT7 as well. So, but whatever I do, there's a pretty good chance it's going to be racing. So, also sometime this week, I did pick up Cyberpunk 77. Sometime this week, I'm going to look to get my hands on the VR mod so I can try that and go from there. With that, everybody, I am going to boogie on out of here. Thanks so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. We will see you all on the next stream. Until then, you guys know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. We'll see you all soon. Everybody have a good one. And hopefully I'll have a haircut the next time you guys see me, because I know my hair is extra fucked up. And we'll catch you all then.